Good morning, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The mining industry has been exploring ways to sustain production as the COVID-19 pandemic and its adverse effects prolong. Chief Executive of the Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Ukoni, says most mining firms are uncertain how the year will end and are hopeful for the best.
The real issue is what will be the impact going forward, especially for this year. And I think is what I've actually addressed. Everybody's interest to ensure we sustain production because the price is good. If price is good, all things being equal, you have your royalty and you're able to sustain production. You ramp up production, your royalty will go up. You bump up your corporate taxes, everything goes right, all things being equal, and so on and so forth. So I think we should be in a good position, fairly good position to support the economy going forward. But the watchword is, how does COVID adversely affect production going forward? That is quite uncertain. And as a responsible industry, we need and will continue to actually work together to collaborate, to learn from best practices, not just within country, but out there, how other firms are able to manage this pandemic to sustain production.
Have you done any projections yet on it?
We requested for some numbers. They are trickling in. We'll not be able to collate everything yet. But like I have said, I will always go back to it to say that it is the inherent interest of industry to ensure that they sustain production. No two ways about it. And the good thing, like I have said, is that we continue to get the support of various policymakers to ensure that we're able to sustain this.
Now, according to the International Labour Organization, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected almost 2.7 billion workers, representing around 81% of the world's workforce. Employee layoffs have already begun on a large scale in many countries, but there seems to be some good news for people in the community where Goldfields Limited mines. It has employed 153 locals. In Athalia Kwanzaa's report, read to you.
153 people have been employed within the last 6 months at Aboso Goldfields Limited, despite the impact of COVID-19 on most companies. Those who have been employed are within the 9 communities of the AGL operational area in the Brishtia-Hunu Valley municipality in the Western region. Regional Manager for Sustainable Development Project of Goldfields Ghana Limited, Abdul Razak Yakubu, disclosed this during the Demand Mine Community Consultative Committee meeting, which is held quarterly between the company and the leaders of the communities.
As a company, we have been able, from January to date, engage 156 community members who are working with us. So this is something that we thought we'd share with our stakeholders. To ensure transparency in the process of employment, we instituted an employment committee made up of community leaders, assembly members, chiefs, queen mothers, youth executives, and all that. So this committee oversees the whole process of employing people onto the mine. This is just to ensure greater transparency in the process. And today, as you saw, a committee that was in place in 2018 has finished its mandate, and then new members will be selected to take over. In our host communities, we've identified the vulnerable, and that includes persons living with disability.
Some residents, although lauded the initiative, say Aboso Goldfields can do better in terms of employment.
I think that what they have done today is to sensitize the public in terms of some of the chemicals that they use, especially the cyanide, which has been creating some problem and some discontent within the communities and other things. So I think, training them or telling them the use and the do's and don'ts of the use of the cyanide, I think is a step in the right direction.
Well, in terms of employment in our catchment area, AGL is doing well, but we are expecting them to do more. And then we are expecting AGL to consider our young guys who don't have much experience. They should consider them so that whenever there is any slot, if they consider them, the young ones will also learn something from them.
And that's all in business. Sports is up next.